Congress leaders in the House passed a short-term budget by a slim margin. Republicans needed almost every vote to continue funding the government until September. And in a surprise twist, East Tennessee Republican Tim Burchett was among the yes votes. It marked a first since he was elected to Congress in 2019, having for years voted against similar short-term funding bills.
10 News anchor Shay Smith spoke with him late this afternoon. Burchett pinned his change of heart, I should say, in part to a phone call from the president.
That's right. Representative Burchett told me there were a couple of reasons why he finally voted in favor of a stopgap bill. Those reasons included spending at the Pentagon and a call from the president.
Yeah, you just have to vote your conscience, because it's in these very large bills like this, there's something in there that you hate and there's something in there that you love.
In a 217 to 213 vote, the Republican-dominated House voted in favor of a spending bill avoiding a government shutdown. This funds the government until the end of September. One of those yeses coming from Representative Tim Burchett, who has for years voted against short-term budget bills.
Because this is the first time in 7 years that we've actually decreased the amount of spending.
Burchett says he spoke with President Trump ahead of the vote and told the president one of his top priorities, looking into spending at the Pentagon.
And that, in terms of spending, is about an aircraft carrier that they cannot account for. Sure, some of it goes into dark projects, but some of it's waste, abuse, and fraud, and it needs to stop.
Burchett says the president and Elon Musk told him they would look into it. There was one lone GOP representative who voted against the stopgap bill, Kentucky Congressman Thomas Massie. The president calling Massie out, saying he should be primaried and he will lead the charge against him.
Were you worried at all that if you voted no, the president would call you out as well?
Ma'am, every vote I make, that is a possibility. I tick off somebody.
I also asked Burchett what he had to say to people who may now consider him as someone who flip-flops.
Do you feel like you still stood on your principles that you've believed in for the past 6 years?
I would tell those people, absolutely. Look at my record. This was the first time in my history in Congress that we voted to reduce the size of government.
Now, while there was only one Republican who voted no, there was also one Democrat that voted yes.
Shay Smith with the very latest. Again, we're watching what the Senate does as well. Shay, thank you.
Well,